It's funny. Every week I get myself so worked up before every game, especially when we go against different competition. And last night was no different. And needless to say, once again with this team this year, I'm pleasantly surprised. 37-8 victory over the Green Bay Packers, and that's a big deal. I think Aaron Rodgers is no slouch. He's a future Hall of Fame quarterback. No doubt in my mind. And the 49ers really put it on him from start to finish. They forced a fumble to start the game, and I think that really set the tone. The Packers were never really in it. That touchdown that they scored had me worried for a little bit, but the Niners quickly squashed that, and they rolled to a pretty easy victory, and I couldn't be happier. Definitely an important victory going into Baltimore next week, followed by New Orleans. This is a game they had to have, and they took it, and I couldn't be happier. So I'm just going to get into a couple points, quick points about the game, kind of a recap, and let's start with the offense. Jimmy Garoppolo played an efficient, clean game, no interceptions, 2 touchdowns, 14 of 20 for 253 yards and 2 touchdowns, like I said, and he played very efficient, only had to throw the ball 20 times. The Niners didn't do a ton of damage on offense. They just had big plays. The big touchdown to George Kittle, who had a pretty outstanding game, 6 catches, 129 yards. Deebo Samuel pulled in 2 for 50, and the big touchdown in the beginning, which both were great throws by Jimmy. Jimmy looked really good. I think the Niners offense is better suited when they're a lot more balanced. I just think Jimmy looks better. There's more of a rhythm and less mistakes. And I think that's the game that Shanahan likes to play. He likes to establish a run and run that play action off of it, and Garoppolo seems very efficient when he does that. The defense, I think, played incredible in this game. They didn't allow anything in the secondary. There was nothing. Jimmy Ward had a magnificent game. I think he had 3 pass breakups. He just, you finally get to see what this guy's all about now that he's healthy. And it's, I was really hard on the guy. I thought he was not worth it, especially with all his injury issues. And that they should have gotten rid of him. And I was totally wrong, and I admit it. Him and Tart together are a formidable safety duo. Mosley played incredible. Sherman locked it down yesterday. I mean, there was really nowhere to throw to. They had it pretty much sealed up from start to finish in that game. I've never seen Aaron Rodgers throw for that low of yards, and he just looked completely flustered. And I'm happy about it, but it's definitely something that we got to be honest, we didn't expect. I think Rodgers threw for 105 yards, and that is not Aaron Rodgers type football. But like I said, I'll take it. Fred Warner played out of his mind. 11 tackles and a sack. He is definitely, I think, the leader of the defense, along with Sherman. But I think he really is the quarterback of that defense. He sets the tone. He's physical. He gets to the point of attack really fast and makes solid plays in the run and the pass game. And I'm really impressed by him. I thought with Quan going down, they would really struggle. And there's some drop off with Greenlaw and Alshire, but he's definitely Fred Warner's definitely holding his end up, and he definitely deserves a Pro Bowl consideration. I really think that I don't know who I liked better last night, Bosa or Eric Armstead. Both just really, really were aggressive. Bosa, once again, a game wrecker, causing all sorts of problems. He actually knocked the offensive tackle out of the game. Let's see. Bosa, I think, had a sack last night, and so did. Let me look here. Let's look at Armstead. Armstead had 2 sacks last night, and he just played out of his mind. He's making himself a lot of money right now. It's I hope there's a way we can keep him, but with deals for Kittle coming up and deals for other players on the team coming up, the Niners, they're not going to be able to sign them all. And Kittle might have, Armstead might have priced himself out of being a 49er, which sucks. I don't know if it's because it's a contract year that he's playing out of his mind, and you hope he doesn't, get soft once he gets his money. But his defense spent a lot of draft equity on defensive linemen over the last seasons, many seasons, and it finally is paying dividends. They're up front, they're just loaded, and they're doing this without D Ford. D Ford wasn't even playing, and when he gets back, he'd be more of a luxury than anything. It just all around game, definitely impressive. I definitely did not expect that kind of tail whooping of the Green Bay Packers. Definitely a team we might see again in the playoffs. They're still talented. I mean, they have Aaron Rodgers, so they're never out of it. This was a big victory for us going forward in Baltimore next week. That's going to be a huge test. It's going to be really hard. If any game that I see us not pulling out, it would be that one. And I'm not being a fair weather fan. I'm just being honest. The running quarterbacks have really given us problems. So I don't know. I mean, I think our secondary can hold up, and I think our pass rush is good. But I guess just going against those running type quarterbacks, we seem to have issues. And then, of course, New Orleans, Drew Brees, and in that dome, it seems like a lot of crazy things always seem to happen with us. And it's definitely going to be a challenge the next 2 weeks. If we could pull out 2 or 3 in this 3-game stretch, I would be more than elated. But winning last night was huge. Put us on a national spotlight, shined a light on our team in a positive light. If you listen to the post-game reaction, Richard Sherman really went in on the media for their constant excuses for why they think the Niners are not a great team, and always taking shots at Jimmy Garoppolo. And I think Jimmy proved a lot last night. And Sherman is, as much as I hated him as a Seattle Seahawk, I love him as a Niner because he takes up for his guys. He's an outspoken leader. Even when we're struggling, he'll go after us. He won't hold back against his own teammates, which is what you want. He's been there. He's done this before, so he definitely keeps us in check and not letting us get too high or too low. And I really love Richard Sherman. I really think he was a great acquisition, and I hope that we can keep this going and keep the wins coming and, improve our seed. The NFC is really strong this year, so it's going to be definitely a challenge. I'm really happy. It's nice to go to bed at night knowing your team is victorious once again and 10-1. Who would have thought it? I didn't. Most of us didn't, but we'll take it, right? This is a great season. Injuries, we've won different types of games in different types of ways, and it shows that we can do it a lot of different ways with a lot of different players. It doesn't matter who's on the field. So that's a sign of good coaching. John Lynch, I've been hard on him and critical of him, and he's done a great job of filling this roster out. So props to him. We got to keep it going. Season's far from over. We have a lot of work left to do, but hopefully we can keep this ball rolling in a good direction. And who knows? Once you get into the playoffs, it's a whole new season, and anybody can win. On the road, at home, doesn't matter. Once you're in the dance, you're in the dance. So that's going to wrap it up for me. Just a quick recap of what happened yesterday. I am super, super stoked, as I know you guys, if anybody actually is listening, you are too. And hopefully we can keep this all going. Talk to everybody next time, and see ya.